Hello everybody, it's Jen, Scrapbena Creations. I'm doing a card video using Doodlebug's So Much Pen. I'm also bringing in the 6x6 dot stripe rainbow petite prints, the chit chats, and the odds and ends for the collection to make 32 cards for you today. And I'm just showing you I still had a ton left over after all these cards. So for the first card, I'm using some Jelly Bean green cardstock from My Favorite Things, and I'm just going to lay that down as a background. And I'm using some of the red paper from the Dots and Stripe pack, and then the fast food combo piece of paper that comes in the So Much Pen collection. So this is the first time I've purchased the Dot Stripe Rainbow Petite Prints or similar paper pad that goes with the collection, and I have to say it really helped me stretch to be able to make a number of cards. So this one here has the mustard and the ketchup bottle and the sentiment, "We must catch up," and there's card number 1. So these are going to move fairly quickly to fit them all into a fairly decent sized video. So I'll talk through a bit of it, but I won't obviously have time to name everything that I've used or that I'm doing, but you can always find a list of the products down below. So this one I thought I'd cut a semi-oval out of the bottom corner and use that kind of tablecloth print as the background for my little cuties here. I did end up going back and popping the hamburger up on double fun foam so that it would sit higher up on top of the little cup and the pogo. This sentiment says, "We make a great combo," and again using the fast food piece of paper there, which I thought was absolutely adorable. So now I'm going to use the little hot dog. So I cut out a strip of that paper, just kind of using up what I have. I have an stitched oval die here from MFT. I'm going to sit that hot dog down a little bit wonky, and then the sentiment reads, "Thank you very much." So a cute little thank you card. I did put a little bit of scalloped edge there using my Lawn Fawn die, and that's just some of the paper from that rainbow petite print pack that I bought. So I'm still using up this fast food combination paper there. I absolutely loved it. I was able to get a number of cards out of it, and then I just used this yellow strip. This is the back pattern to that. It's kind of like a note paper, but I thought it went well with the yellow of the French fries. Just using a stitched circle here, and the sentiment, "Time fries when you're having fun." So obviously so many adorable puns in this collection. So what I tried to do in making these cards is kind of keep the themes together. So you can see, like things as we go. So I did all the fast food together. Now I'm doing the adorable soup cans. And so I used the sentiment from the chit chat that says, "You're super." And then I decided to use a die cut. This is some of the gray paper that comes in the paper pack, the Rainbow Petite Print pack. This is Simon Says stamp die. And then a fishtail banner die. And this also, I think, makes a really cute card as well. Thank you card. So moving on to the next one, I'm moving into the kind of Mexican food. So I'm using this polka dotted, I believe. Yeah, the polka dotted lime green paper, and then I used a stitched oval die for the little taco pattern paper. Got my little dish of guacamole here. The sentiment reads, "You guac my world." Too cute with these little nacho chips. So all of these cards are very simple in nature, but what I wanted to do this time, instead of doing a 10 card video showcasing just 10 of the elements, I really wanted to see how many cards I could make and give you lots of ideas. Now this Avo Great Day, that was also a chit chat and had the little sentiment tail, but I just took a circle die and cut that out so it just looks like a sentiment. So I do that a couple of times on these cards where I don't want it to actually look like it's a speech bubble. So here I'm using that taco Mexican themed paper, bringing back a piece of the kind of red gingham paper that I had left over. I thought it kind of looked like a tablecloth for this card. And this taco is so cute. The sentiment is taco bout amazing. And I put the little hot sauce and then a little nacho covered in cheese. How cute is that? These just make the most adorable, cute cards that would put a smile on anybody's face. So then I decided to do something with the burrito. So I'm using some of the green pattern paper from the dot and stripe pack. I used the Mexican food themed pattern paper for the bottom, and then a piece of the orange paper to kind of break up those patterns, and also to put the sentiment on there. And this is where I also used a circle die just to cut out that speech bubble there, and it says your Nito burrito, and then another cute little tortilla chip with the cheese dipped in cheese and the burrito beside it. Adorable. That little burrito is so cute. I thought it still needed something, and this is where I realized that I hadn't kind of cut into the strips from the So Much Pun collection. So I just cut that one out. It brings out the brown from the square that I used to place the burrito on, and I think that that just finished it off nicely. It also ties in that I used the little nacho chip. So moving on to the next card. So this is the one with the beer or the little glass of ale. So I used the brown and blue pattern paper. So all of the papers have polka dots on one side, and then they have a striped pattern on the other. I cut this little strip in half because it didn't reach the full version, like the full length of the card, and I was trying to figure out here if I wanted to use a square or an oval. I ended up going with the oval, and I'm just using my mustard seed Distress Oxide just to give a little bit of a background to tie in with the beer and the yellow color. So I'm using the Doodle Pops here. I absolutely love this, and I thought, you know, it was just a really great masculine card. I don't have very many of those on hand. So the sentiment is happy birthday, and it comes with 2 little pretzels. So I'm just going to stick those down. I really liked the layout of this card with the 2 different designed pattern papers and then the decorative strip going down the middle. Cute, cute, cute. So now I'm going to do another card. So I'm using the other half of the blue paper for the previous card, trying to use up as much of the paper as I can. This little strip has the beer bottle and the beer glass. And then I'm leaving the top of this one white. And then these are the little pieces that come in the Chit Chats. So I decided to put them up to the top left. And then the little sentiment says, it's ale good. Then we're going to use up the little pretzels. So I'm using this really bright, fun polka dot paper, and I did cut that out with a stitched rectangle die. The little sentiment that I'm holding right now, it says, you're not that old. Just cut a little fishtail out of that. So that came in the Chit Chat, and then I'm using a piece of the brown pattern paper from the Dots and Stripes just to kind of anchor that. And then I'm going to have the 2 little pretzels sitting on top of the banners here. And then I'm going to use the little Chit Chat that says happy birthday. And I'm just using, mostly in this video, I'm using fun foam just because I find it's economical and I like the height that it gives. It's just enough of a raise, but it's not too much. So moving on to the next card. So now I'm kind of moving into the sweets and the baking goods. So I'm using the candle pattern and then a little bit of what was left over from that brightly colored polka dot paper. I thought I'd make this into a thank you card because it says you take the cake. And so I used the thank you sentiment that came in the Chit Chat. I put the little candles behind the cake. And I thought that would be really cute. I know most obvious would be to do a birthday card, but I thought I'd mix it up a little. So there's that card done. Now this one I'm using the Doodle Pop, the little bun in the oven, and I'm using the pattern paper that has the oven and then all of like the baking mixed goods. I took some of the brown pattern paper and cut a large scalloped strip. These are using the Lawn Fawn Scallop edge dies. And then I added another one on top. So one of them has the stripes and the other one has the little polka dots. So I'm just going to try to figure out where I want to put the oven. The sentiment reads, "Congrats on your bun in the oven." I'm going to pop that up on some foam adhesive. And then I'm trying to figure out where I want the sentiment. And again, I'm just going to cut that little fishtail off and just have it be more of a sentiment spot than a speech bubble. So then I thought I would bring in some Nuvo drops. I believe these are the Carnation Pink. And just kind of spreading those around. Just trying to give a little bit of extra color. And I like to try to have them in odd numbers, so I was trying to figure out where to put them. So for the next card, I'm using some of the leftover paper from the previous card. I'm using some pink cardstock as my card base. All of these card bases are A2 size cards at 4 1/4 and 5 by 5.5. I cut out the smallest little scalloped banner from the Lawn Fawn set, and then a scalloped circle to place the little sugar on. So cute. And then I use the sentiment Hello Sugar. I'm using the Nuvo drops in double denim. I thought it went really well with the color where the sugar is printed out. So moving on to the next card, I loved this sentiment. It's Sherbert Day. Cracks me up every time. So I put the little sherbet dish in the front, and then I gave her a couple of friends here, the chocolate bar and then the milkshake. And I am going to pop up the sherbet so that it sticks up a little bit more from the other two. But this is a really simple layout, just with the stitched oval. But it's enough just to give them a little bit of grounding and to really make them pop. But the wonderful thing about Doodlebug is that the images are so cute that you really don't have to fuss much. So for this card, I'm using the dotted paper, and then I'm using the design strip with all the little cookies on it. So I'm going to have that going down the center, the sentiment "You're a smart cookie," and then I've got the two little cookies here. So there's a cluster of 3 circle shapes, and that's that card. Another really simple one. So this card is extremely busy. It's not my favorite card. It was one of those ones that you kind of had an idea in your head and it didn't quite turn out the way you wanted it to. But I left it in because I think the idea was on the right track with that, but I think you just need to move that yellow piece of paper up a little bit more. The strip that I put in the middle to break up that busy background candy paper, but also maybe using 1 sentiment instead of 3. So I'm using the sentiments "Hello Sugar," "You're so sweet," and then the sweet one in the pink there that I don't have on the card yet, but I'm placing down all these little jelly beans. This would have also made a really cute shaker card if you just kept the background without the yellow piece of paper and put all of the candy pieces into a full-sized shaker element. That would have been adorable and maybe not as busy. So, I mean, you can't win them all, but anyways. I mean, it's cute. I think a kid would really enjoy this card with all the little candies on it. Those lollipops are adorable. So there's that card done. We'll move on to the next one, which is using the Gumball machine. So I'm right in the midst of all the candy here, playing around with them. So I'm just using some of the blue pattern paper from the stripes and dots. This rainbow piece I just cut a strip off of and then popped up the little gumballs and the gumball machines with some fun foam. And here you see me with the placement. I'm just trying to make sure there's no gaps of space between things. That's just one of those things I picked up from Shamel Lane. She does it in scrapbooking, but she calls it trapped space. So you just want to try to make sure that there's not a gap. So you can see me playing here. I'm trying to get rid of the gap between the gumball machine and the gumballs there. It's just a little bit more appealing to the eye. So I've kind of picked that up from her over the years. So I popped a couple up on fun foam and other ones I just glued right down to the card base. And this sentiment says, "You're gumbelievable." So cute. So moving to the baking, I'm going to use the cupcake pattern strip. Now I wish in the end that I had cut that pattern strip the full length of the yellow, but I cut it a little bit short so you could see the stitch detailing. This is a scalloped die from My Favorite Things, but I just wanted to have that as the grounding, so I'm going to have the little oven in the center, and then that little sticky bun, and the cupcake, and the rolling pin. And the sentiment is warm birthday wishes. Super cute. Again, really simple. I find I've done these cards with the embellishment pack like I'm using now. What do they call that? The odds and ends. I've also used the icon stickers and the mini icon stickers to do different collections. And they each are very different. So with the odds and ends, they're a lot larger, so it's a little bit more challenging to do really intricate kind of scene cards. I do like the mini icon and just the full icon stamps if you want to make more scene cards. But if you want something to really be the focal like this card, the odds and ends are perfect for that. So I just used some of the flower paper to do an outline. That's like a bubble cloudy border die from Pink and Maine. And that one was really simple, but I thought it was cute. It would make a really cute birthday card, wishing you a happy birthday. So now I'm going to use the Fawn. So I used some of the pink pattern paper. I used a wonky stitch die here and a scalloped circle to place the little Fawn on. The yellow paper to pick up in the color of the Fawn, and I just used the chit chat that said congratulations. And then this one says, "I'm your biggest Fawn." Like, the puns are just so adorable. So I put that on underneath the Fawn, and then these little hearts came in the chit chats. So I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put them, and then I'll add those as decorations for this card. So once I get that one done, I'll just bring it up a little bit closer to show you, and then we'll move on to the next card. So this one, oh, this card. So I kept this one in, so I didn't really like how this one turned out, but I loved the background with the brown, the pink, and the white. It almost reminds me of like Neapolitan ice cream. So if you were going to do an ice cream card, I think this layout would be great. So I'm using the Sending S'more Birthday Wishes, and I wish I'd left it like that, but I don't. I turn it this way, and I feel like it cuts on the paper a little funny. So sometimes when you're trying to use the corresponding things and you really want to use them, you don't always get the design right. I mean, it's cute enough, so the world needs more people like you. And then I used the little heart speech bubble as well, just because I wanted to use it up. So that s'more is absolutely adorable. So again, just because of that banner and the s'more, it's not my favorite card, but I love the background layout of the card with the 3 stripes of colors. So now we're going to move on to a couple of the little Get Well cards. So I'm using the pill paper. I just cut that out with a stitched rectangle die. This is going to be a shaker card, so I'm just using my embossing tool there to get rid of the stick. I'm using some blue seed beads here. And then I'm going to stick on my shaker window. I have 2 layers of foam tape there. I'm going to use the little pill bottle and the adorable little band-aid. So cute. And then the sentiment says, "Hope you pill better." cute little shaker card with the little pills on the inside. I think this would make anybody's day who wasn't feeling well. So the next Get Well card, I'm going to use the Band-Aid paper. I'm also using the Kleenex box and one of the little Band-Aids. And then I wanted to use the red hearts as decoration on this. So I'm actually not going to have a sentiment on the front of this. I'm going to use that little Get Well banner on the inside. I thought I was going to use that blue little heart, but I don't end up using it in the end. So there's the little Get Well message on the inside, and that card is complete. So moving on to the herbs, oh my goodness, I thought these were so cute. I'm using a little bit of picked raspberry just to create a background for these little potted plants. The first card here that I'm doing with that one, just trying to flip through them all here to find it, is Sending Encouragement. So I had to Google what mint looked like so that I had the right plant on the card. So I'm using a little pattern paper decoration strip here on the bottom, kind of like a ledge for them to sit on. And I'm putting the mint pot in the front. So it's popped up on foam tape. The other two are going to be just adhered flat to the card base. And a cute little card just to make someone smile. That cactus is adorable. I love all those smiling faces. So for this one, I'm going to use the aloe vera, and I thought I was going to use that pink tag, but I decided not to in the end. I'm going to use the sentiments, hello there, which cracks me up. Have a vera nice day. And I like just the simplicity of the green and the pink for that card. So now kind of moving on, getting to the end, well, not really the end, there's still a number of cards to go, but at the end of the food kind of cards. So this was the popcorn one, so cute, pop it in to say hi. So I just use a stitched circle die here. I'm going to leave the back white to pick up on the white from the little popcorn box. I decided to cut this one out with a fishtail banner, which worked perfectly. So you can see how you can take those speech bubbles and kind of manipulate them however you want. So I had that to the side of the card, and then I'm just going to place these little popcorns around the card. Again, just a really super cute card that would just make someone smile if they got it in the mail. So now we're going to move on to the animals. Oh my goodness, this llama, so cute. So this is a striped pattern paper. It's very muted kind of gray white. I'm using this edge die again from Pink and Main, just a smaller one. And then I'm just going to pop up that llama and the sentiments, no prob llama, spit happens. Oh my goodness. So cute. Look at how easy that card came together. So I'm going to use the snail and the turtle for this one. So I'm just using some of that yellow striped pattern paper. I'm going to use the decoration strip here with the snail and the turtle going across. I'm going to put them in the same order as on the strip. So the turtle will be first with the sentiment turtly awesome, and the little snail and the sentiment you snailed it. So I think I'll make this into a congratulations card. So this one is the out of this world one. So here we're moving into kind of the little alien outer space. So I used some of the black dotted paper from the dots and stripe pattern paper, as well as the green one. I cut out the hello sentiment, that is from My Favorite Things, and a stitched stitched oval for the kind of focal panel of my design. I'm using the Doodle Pop, the little alien, and he has a little speech bubble that says far out. And then I'm just going to add the moon that came in that Doodle Pop with the stars. So I'm just going to play around with the placement of that for a little bit till I'm happy, and then add the other three little stars as embellishment. And I think that one turned out super cute. That little alien is adorable. So moving on to the dinosaurs. So I'm using the dinosaur pattern paper from the So Much Pen, little orange scalloped. Why do I keep saying scalloped? The orange oval, and this one says have a dynamite birthday. I love this little dino, was my favorite out of them all. Cute, simple birthday card. This one, I just loved the sentiment. Raptor present for you. Oh, so punny, Doodlebug. I don't know how they come up with all this stuff. So there's the little raptor saying that they wrapped a present, gave him some little buddies. I liked the plaid paper for this particular card, and I popped this, is that a Stegosaurus? Popped that up on some fun foam. Then going to have his little flying buddy up at the top, and then I felt like it needed to say happy birthday, so I used the really large dynamite birthday that came in the Chit Chat collection. I just put that on the inside. So I think that turned out really cute as well. So we're almost to the end here. We are at the end. So I'm going to show you all of the 32 cards, and now I'll show them to you one by one. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, so you can see more multiple cards using Doodlebug collections or card kits and whatnot. I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't know that I think this is the first time I've ever made this many cards in one video. So let me know if you liked seeing a number of cards from the collection as opposed to just 10 cards. So you can see just exactly how many different cards you can get out of purchasing just a couple of pieces from the collection. Didn't these turn out cute? They're so adorable. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you really soon in the next video. Bye!